know that God hears us when we pray? I was sitting next to Sam and he was singing his heart out to God. So I ain't gonna say that. I ain't gonna say that, Sister Joy. He's singing his heart out. You know what? I want to ask I want everybody to y'all start praying the Lord will fix his voice in his ear, so he can stay on the same key. All right. That's gonna be our prayer. So you say God knows he want to sing so bad. But my left ear says, y'all have a humming in it up. Give God some praise for our young people. Looking at Ruth for our morning, and when you get home, you can read that entire book. It's not but 4 chapters, but I'll read from verse 14 of chapter 1, verse 14. And I stand down and read God's word. And they lifted up their voice and wept again, and Ophrah kissed her mother-in-law, but Ruth clave unto her. And she said, behold, thy sister-in-law is gone back unto her people, unto her gods, and return thou also thy sister-in-law after thy sister-in-law. And Ruth said, entreat me not to leave thee, or to return from following after thee. For whether thou goest, I will go, and where thou lodgest, I will lodge. Thy people shall be my people, and thy God my God. Where thou diest, will I die, and there will I be buried. The Lord do so to me, and more also, if aught but death part thee and me. For a few minutes, I want to talk from the subject, witnessing women. Right. Witnessing women. Took a break from our series on Jesus in the Old Testament, and I wanted to look at something that would kind of speak to this day being Mother's Day, and looking at one of the mothers, the great mothers in the Bible, in the person of Naomi. And I want to deal with this fact that whatever else a mother does, she should witness for God by the way she lives. Since it's a fact that mothers have more influence than anybody else in the world, and they should use their influence to impact the lives of those who honor them in a very positive way. And whatever else a mother does, she should strive to lead her children to the Lord. That's important. And you know, you understand that that's not just the job of a mother, that all of us have a responsibility of doing all we can to lead our children to God. In fact, if there's anything wrong with the world, is that the church is not doing her job as it relates to witnessing and striving to get other people to God. And you understand the problem the world has with the church is that the world says we don't just listen to what you say, but we watch the way you live. It's not enough just to talk about love, but you have to live what you talk about. You know, I keep saying, I wrote that book, Love Conquers All. And I really believe that we could love folk in the church. If we would just love on people, that would do a whole lot to make the world a better place. used to have a song they sung about when I was a boy. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. That's the only thing that's too little of. And the fact of the matter is, we have too much hatred in the world. Huge animosity. Republicans don't like the Democrats, and the rich folk don't like the poor folk, and the folk in the ghetto don't like the folk who live on high on the hill. And we need to try to get rid of all of these divisions. And all of us need to do what Jesus told us. We've got to learn how to love everybody. Let me just look at this. I don't want to keep you long. The fact of the matter is, we have this picture of Naomi at a very crucial time in her life. The Bible starts out where she is married, her husband, and she is in the land of Judah, and they leave their homeland to go to Moab because there's a famine where they are, depression y'all would call it, and they move into Moab because they hear that they got some good jobs over there, things are good. So they go to Moab, things are better, and old man doing fine, he and his sons, and man, things are just prospering, things are looking good, and lo and behold, he dies. And I told you, to kind of bring you up, I know y'all know, but let me just say it for the one who don't know, that, during those times, they didn't have Social Security, 401ks, and all of that. So basically, a woman's support as it relates to retirement is dependent upon her husband and her children. Yeah, her children. I was reading an article yesterday. It was talking about how too many children have relegated to the state the responsibility of taking care of their parents. Well, you do understand it's our responsibility to look after our parents when they get to a point where they can't look out for themselves. I'll tell you that because they take care of you, and come the time when you want to be taken care of. So I admire Russell, he always looking after his mama, take care of her, but you're supposed to do that. You don't get no brownie points for that. You're supposed. I know that's what they tell you. All the time. But seriously, we have a responsibility. It's not the nursing home responsibility. It's not. And again, people, I don't have a problem with people going to the nursing home because I think sometimes it's best when you got one person trying to take care of some folk and you too old, and especially you're a lady trying to lift up on the heavy man. It's better to have somebody looking after them 24/7. But you don't just throw them in a nursing home and forget about them. Make sure you go visit them regularly, making sure that they are being well provided for. You ought not expect somebody else to take care of your own. All right. So Naomi is at a point now where her husband is dead, and she got her 2 boys. They're going to look after her. But guess what? The 2 sons died. Now when the 2 boys died, she's on another level. Things not looking too well. And so Naomi kind of feels like God is best over, and you know how it happens sometimes in life. Things can come into your life and you don't really know why. If you've been messing up, if you've been doing some stuff you had no business, so where God is punishing me, for what I did bad, you have me living kind of decently, you aren't perfect, but there are a lot of folk doing worse than you doing, and they fell off of it. Why is it, everybody else seems to be faring okay, and all of the bad things are happening to me? So she thought that, God, I don't know why you're doing what you're doing, but I want you to look at her because you know what I found out? You can judge where people are, what kind of people they are when the storm comes. Wow. A lot of folks look tough. A lot of folks look like they can survive when things are going well, but it's when the storm comes that you find out what they're really made of. And when the storm comes. And so when the storm came, she said, I got to make some changes. And so she decides she's going to get up from Moab because the news came to her back at home. Things are all right now. The family is gone. And I'd rather be around some kinfolk. Everybody kinfolk ain't like your kinfolk. some cousin Bobo. I mean, you know what I'm talking about. When times get hard, you don't go to cousin Bobo house. Bobo, he ain't gonna give you some food. He gonna try to take what you got. But she wanted to get around some folk who are from some relatives she's familiar with. But look at her. She has these two daughters-in-laws, all right? And she's trying to convince them to go back home. She's giving up. But she's trying to convince them to go back home. And one of them, she talks her into going. She goes, but Ruth just won't go. Yeah. She refused to go. I'm gonna hang in here. And she got a good plan, and I'm going back home, things are good, all right. But in the midst of her being down, in the midst of being disappointed with life, in the midst of her not understanding God, she still has faith in God. Y'all better hear me today. Y'all better, because this is the point. You don't get anything else. That you got to understand that God is the one you got to lean on in the storm. The devil knows how to mess up your life and put things in disarray so that you confused. But don't let your confusion, don't let your condition stop you from recognizing where your real source of strength is. When I need a shelter, when I need a friend, I go to the rock. Y'all don't hear me. I need a God who can help me. See, some of y'all have what y'all call a fair weather God. Y'all think God with you because you're doing right. Y'all think God with you because He's blessing you. You got money, you got a good job. But I don't need a God who's just with me when I'm doing well. I don't need a God who's just with me when I'm behaving. I need a God who's going to love me even when I'm misbehaving. Come on here, somebody. I need a God who's going to stand by me in the storm. I don't need a sunshine God. I don't need a fair weather God. I told you, when I started pastoring years ago, I had one of my deacons come to me. Reverend, I want you to know I'm with you. I'm in your corner as long as you right. And I said, well, brother, ain't no sense you standing around. You leave right now. I don't need somebody who will be with me when just when I'm right. I need somebody who's going to be with me when I'm right. And when I'm wrong, he's going to hang around and tell me I'm wrong. Y'all better hear me. I don't need somebody who just with me when things going well. And when the storm comes, you can't find it. I need somebody who's going to be consistent. I wish I had a witness here. Y'all trying to make God a fair weather God. Y'all trying to make God somebody that you just hang out with when things are okay. And you use God to try to mistreat people and to roll your eyes at folk and look down your nose at people. But that's not the God I serve. The God I serve said, if you love me, you have to love your fellow man. Do I have a witness here? 3 little points, and I just gave you the first one already. The first one talking about is companionship. Ruth refused to leave because she saw something in Naomi that caused her to want to change her whole life. Y'all better hear me. She's from Moab. She could have easily gone back home with her people. She was raised worshiping idol gods. She saw Moab at her, she saw Naomi at her worst. Y'all better hear me today. And she says, I'm going to stay with you because I've seen something in you that I've never seen anywhere before. Y'all better hear me. Not only am I going to stay with you, but I'm going to stay with your God. That's tough stuff. I'm going to stay with your God. I'm going to worship the God you worship. I'm going to hang with you. I'm going to be with you through this I'm talking about witnessing. You know, ladies, mothers, you know, you're talking about what you can do. But let me tell you something. What kind of spiritual influence do you have on the folk around you? What kind of spiritual impact do you have on the people who are watching you? Well, I know you taught them how to watch the young and the restless, but did you teach them how to read God's word? I know you taught them how to gossip, but did you teach them anything about the gospel? I know you taught them what Marvin Gaye sing, but did you teach them something about Jesus keep me near the cross? What kind of lessons are you teaching folk who just watching you? And let me tell you something else. Not only does she watch her, but she watches her at one of the most difficult periods in her life. You see, sometimes y'all can be good Christians on Sunday, but when the storm comes, we don't represent it. We take a time out. When the storm comes, we don't have time for God. When the storm comes, we don't have time for church. When the storm comes, I don't have time to read my Bible. When the storm comes, I don't have time to pray. But she watched Naomi at one of the most difficult times in her life. And she made that kind of impact. I made that point before when I looked at this, and something I just kind of keep saying, because there's all this potential is here, that Ruth recognized greatness. And she wanted to attach herself to it. Because you know everybody want to be great, but the problem is too many people don't recognize greatness when you see it. Everybody want to join the Potter's house when Jakes came to Dallas. Which I had to witness it. But he didn't have no crowd when he was in Virginia. Y'all better hear me. Y'all better hear me. See, what I'm trying to tell you is that you got to learn how to recognize greatness in its infancy. Attach yourself to it early. Come on here. And so when it's fully developed, you're already in the right position. Do I have a witness here? In other words, I tell them I feel sorry for Oprah. Because see, Oprah, when friends come her way, when folks come, I want to be friends with you. She don't know if they want to be friends with her or friends with her money. Oh, I wish I had a witness here. But when you learn how to recognize greatness, I like LeBron James for a lot of reasons. But one thing I like about LeBron James, his woman is the girl he was dating in high school. Y'all don't hear me. He's a multi-millionaire now. But before he was a millionaire, when he was just a little snotty-nosed high school boy, homegirl latched herself to LeBron. Come on here, somebody. So whatever else, he got a lot of women would love to be with him. And I ain't trying to talk about nobody. He ain't the prettiest looking man in the world. But when you got millions like he got, they don't care. They got a lot of beautiful models. Be glad to walk down the street with LeBron. Come on here, but LeBron says, I'm going to stick with the one who recognized me. Come on here, somebody. Before I got all this other stuff, I'm going to stick with the person I know cares about me. Come on. Naomi demonstrates some greatness, and she demonstrates her faith in God. Even though her words show that she has some question, she still trusts in God. And you got to learn how to trust him in the storm. You got to learn how to trust him when things are not going well with you. You got to learn how to trust him even when it appears God has forgotten about you. Deliver me from these folk act like they're so close to God, they know everything. God is so tight. You got to understand, sometimes